inspired by true principles of chaos theory. The science is real, the butterfly effect is real, the chain reactions are real, but the names have been changed, the faces are different, because this isn't about one story, it's about every story. This could happen anywhere, to anyone, including you. The chaos theory, the butterfly effects, the canceled flight. A drunk passenger causes a disturbance on a flight from Boston to Shanghai. The plane is diverted to Toronto. 300 passengers stranded. One of them, an American executive, misses a $2.3 billion meeting in China. The contract goes to a Japanese competitor instead. The American company shuts down. 47 employees laid off in Seattle. One of them, desperate, robs a convenience store. The clerk resists. A gunshot. One dead. The drunk passenger? He sobered up in a Toronto jail cell, paid a fine, and flew home 2 days later. He never knew his 3 hours of chaos killed someone 5,000 miles away. This is how anger crosses borders. This is the butterfly effect. The world is smaller than we think. A decision made in one country ripples across oceans, through time zones, into lives that will never intersect except through invisible chains of consequence. We think borders contain chaos. They don't. We think distance protects us from strangers' mistakes. It doesn't. This is the story of how a man named Derek Williams, 38, a sales consultant from Boston, Massachusetts, got drunk on a flight to Shanghai and set off a chain reaction that killed Tyler Morrison, 22, a college student working night shift at a 7-Eleven in Seattle, Washington. Derek and Tyler never met, never spoke. One lived on the East Coast, the other on the West. One flew to China, the other never left his neighborhood. But the butterfly doesn't care about geography. The butterfly only cares about motion. And on September 14th, 2024, the butterfly's wings flapped at 35,000 feet over Canadian airspace, and the hurricane destroyed lives across 3 continents. Boston, USA, the passenger. Boston, Massachusetts, USA, September 14th, 2024, 4:15 p.m. Logan International Airport is packed with travelers. Gate E7, Flight 482 to Shanghai Pudong International Airport, direct, 14 hours. Derek Williams sits in seat 24C business class, already 3 drinks deep before boarding. He's stressed. His company, Pacific Link Technologies, a Seattle-based software firm, is sending him to China for the most important meeting of his career. A potential partnership with a Chinese manufacturing giant worth $2.3 billion over 5 years. Derek is the lead negotiator. The meeting is scheduled for 10 a.m. on September 16th in Shanghai. He has to be there. He has to close this deal. But Derek hates flying. Always has. So he drinks. Whiskey at the airport bar. 2 mini bottles of vodka he bought at duty-free. Now, sitting in his seat, he orders another drink from the flight attendant before takeoff. She hesitates. "Sir, we haven't even taken off yet." Derek's tone is sharp. "I know. Just bring it." She does. He drinks it. By the time the plane reaches cruising altitude, Derek is loud, obnoxious, slurring his words. He's arguing with the passenger next to him, a quiet businessman from Taiwan, about something nonsensical. The flight attendants ask Derek to lower his voice. He ignores them. 2 hours into the flight, somewhere over Newfoundland, Derek stands up, stumbles into the aisle, and starts yelling at a flight attendant. "This airline is garbage. The service is garbage. I paid $4,000 for this seat, and you people treat me like trash." Other passengers stare. Parents cover their children's ears. The flight attendant, calm and professional, tries to de-escalate. "Sir, please sit down. We'll discuss this after the flight." Derek shoves past her, heading toward the galley. Another attendant blocks him. Derek, drunk and irrational, shoves her. She stumbles backward. That's when the captain is notified. Federal aviation law is clear. Assault on a crew member is a serious offense. The captain makes the call. "We're diverting." Toronto, Canada, the diversion. Toronto, Ontario, Canada, September 14th, 2024, 9:32 p.m. EST. Flight 482 makes an emergency landing at Toronto Pearson International Airport. Royal Canadian Mounted Police board the plane. Derek is removed in handcuffs, still yelling, still belligerent. The other 299 passengers watch in exhausted silence. Once Derek is off, the captain addresses the cabin. Ladies and gentlemen, due to the incident, we are required to delay the flight for a full security inspection and crew rest period. We will not be departing until tomorrow morning at the earliest. The airline will provide hotel accommodations. Groans fill the cabin. People have connections, meetings, plans. Among them is Richard Huang, 52, Senior Vice President of Pacific Link Technologies, Derek's boss. Richard was on the same flight, seated in first class, heading to the same meeting in Shanghai. Richard is furious. He calls the Seattle office from the tarmac. Derek's been arrested. The flight is grounded until tomorrow. We're going to miss the meeting. The CEO on the other end of the line goes silent. Then, try to get there. Reschedule if you have to. This deal cannot fall through. Richard tries. He books a new flight through Vancouver to Shanghai. But it doesn't leave until tomorrow afternoon. By the time he lands in Shanghai, it'll be September 17th. The meeting is September 16th. He calls the Chinese client, Mr. Chen, CEO of Longhua Manufacturing. Richard explains the situation, begs for a one-day extension. Mr. Chen is polite but firm. Mr. Huang, we have already extended this meeting twice. Our board is here now. We cannot delay further. If Pacific Link cannot attend, we will move forward with our second option. Richard knows what that means. The second option is a Japanese competitor, Takeda Solutions, based in Tokyo. They've been circling this deal for months. Please, Mr. Chen, just one more day. Mr. Chen pauses. I will discuss with the board. I will call you back. He doesn't call back. The next morning, Richard receives an email. Dear Mr. Huang, Longhua Manufacturing has decided to proceed with Takeda Solutions. We appreciate your interest. Best regards. Richard sits in the Toronto airport, staring at his phone, watching $2.3 billion disappear. Shanghai, China, the meeting. Shanghai, China, September 16th, 2024, 10:00 a.m. The Longhua Manufacturing boardroom overlooks the Bund. 15 executives sit around a glass table, but the chair reserved for Pacific Link Technologies is empty. Mr. Chen, 61, looks at the empty seat and nods to his assistant. Call Takeda. Within the hour, representatives from Takeda Solutions arrive. They're prepared. They've been on standby for weeks, hoping for exactly this scenario. Their presentation is flawless. The contract terms are competitive. Mr. Chen and his board are impressed. By 3 p.m., the deal is signed. Takeda Solutions secures a $2.3 billion contract to provide supply chain software to Longhua Manufacturing. Pacific Link Technologies gets nothing. The Japanese company celebrates. The American company collapses. Tokyo, Japan, the competitor. Tokyo, Japan, September 17th, 2024. Takeda Solutions holds a press conference announcing the Longhua deal. Their stock price jumps 18% in a single day. The CEO, Hiroshi Takeda, 58, is hailed as a visionary. This partnership will create jobs, drive innovation, and position Japan as a leader in global supply chain technology, he says. Takeda Solutions immediately begins hiring. 50 new engineers, 20 new sales reps. The company is booming. Meanwhile, across the Pacific in Seattle, Pacific Link Technologies is dying. Seattle, USA, the collapse. Seattle, Washington, USA, September 25th, 2024, Pacific Link Technologies calls an emergency all-hands meeting. The CEO, Margaret Foster, 49, stands in front of 120 employees. Her voice is shaking. "I won't sugarcoat this. We lost the Longhua contract. Without it, we don't have the capital to continue operations. Effective immediately, we are shutting down. Everyone in this room is being laid off. I'm sorry." Silence. Then chaos. People crying, shouting, asking questions no one can answer. Among them is Kyle Sanders, 31, a mid-level project manager who's been with the company for 6 years. Kyle is stunned. He has a mortgage, a wife, a 2-year-old daughter, no savings. He was living paycheck to paycheck, expecting a promotion, expecting stability. Now he has nothing. Kyle applies everywhere, sends out 200 applications in 2 weeks, gets 8 interviews, no offers. Seattle's tech market is brutal. Everyone's laying off, not hiring. By mid-October, Kyle is 2 months behind on his mortgage. The bank sends foreclosure notices. His wife, Emma, is terrified. What are we going to do? Kyle doesn't have an answer. He starts driving for Uber at night, but it's not enough. He's desperate, broken. One night, October 28th, Kyle picks up a passenger who works in finance. The guy is drunk, bragging about a huge bonus he just got. $50,000, just like that. Easy money, man. Kyle smiles and nods, but inside he's screaming. He's working 16-hour days and can't pay his mortgage, and this guy just got $50,000 for doing what? Existing? It's not fair. Nothing is fair. That night, Kyle makes a terrible decision. Seattle, USA, the crime. Seattle, Washington, USA. October 30th, 2024, 11:47 p.m. Kyle is parked outside a 7-Eleven in the Northgate neighborhood. He's been sitting there for 20 minutes, staring at the entrance, trying to talk himself out of what he's about to do, but he's out of options. The foreclosure is final. They're losing the house. Emma is talking about moving back to her parents in Idaho. Kyle feels like a failure, like less than a man. He pulls his hood up, gets out of the car, walks into the store. Behind the counter is Tyler Morrison, 22, a University of Washington student working night shifts to pay tuition. Tyler is studying engineering. He's got a bright future. He's a good kid, quiet, works hard, loves his mom. Kyle walks up to the counter. His hand is in his jacket pocket, shaped like a gun. It's not a gun. It's his hand. But Tyler doesn't know that. Open the register, now. Tyler's face goes pale. "Man, please don't." Kyle's voice cracks. "Just do it." Tyler hits the button. The drawer opens. Maybe $200 inside. Kyle reaches for it. But Tyler, in a moment of panic, does something stupid. He grabs Kyle's wrist. "No, I can't let you." They struggle. Kyle pulls his hand out of his pocket to push Tyler away. Tyler sees there's no gun. Relief flashes across his face. But Kyle, panicked and desperate, grabs the first thing he sees, a glass bottle of wine on the counter display. He swings it. It connects with Tyler's temple. Tyler falls. Hard. His head hits the corner of the counter on the way down. Blood everywhere. Kyle freezes. Oh my God. Oh my God. He runs, leaves the store, gets in his car, drives away, hands shaking so badly he can barely hold the wheel. Tyler lies on the floor, unconscious, bleeding from a skull fracture. A customer finds him 3 minutes later, calls 911. Tyler is rushed to Harborview Medical Center, emergency surgery, but the damage is catastrophic. Tyler Morrison dies on the operating table at 2:14 a.m. on October 31st, 2024. The aftermath. Seattle, Washington, USA, November 2024. Kyle is arrested 2 days later. Security footage, license plate from his car. He confesses immediately, sobbing, saying he didn't mean to hurt anyone, he just needed money. Everything fell apart. He's charged with felony murder. Tyler's parents, Linda and Robert Morrison, bury their only son. The funeral is packed. Friends from college, professors, teammates from his high school soccer team. Everyone loved Tyler. Linda Morrison sits in the front row, unable to cry, unable to speak, unable to process that her son is gone because someone needed $200. And Derek Williams? On October 31st, the day Tyler dies, Derek is back in Boston, sitting at a bar, telling the story of how he got arrested in Toronto for the 10th time. It was wild, man. I was so wasted. They diverted the whole plane. Cost me like $5,000 in fines, but it was worth it for the story. His friends laugh. Derek laughs. He has no idea. No idea that his drunken tantrum cost his company $2.3 billion. No idea that 47 people lost their jobs. No idea that one of them, desperate and broken, killed a 22-year-old kid in a 7-Eleven. No idea that Tyler Morrison is dead because Derek Williams couldn't handle his alcohol at 35,000 feet. This is the canceled flight. This is how chaos crosses borders, oceans, continents. This is how a man in Boston kills a man in Seattle without ever meeting him. This is the butterfly effect. Butterfly effect. A drunk passenger in Boston. A diverted flight in Toronto. A missed meeting in Shanghai. A contract lost to Tokyo. A company collapses in Seattle. 47 lives destroyed. One man, desperate, commits a crime. A 22-year-old college student dies. 5 countries, 5 cities, one invisible chain. The drunk passenger, he paid a fine and went home, completely unaware. This is how the butterfly flies across the world. This is chaos without borders.